Okay, so today I'm gonna start out by showing my trades, my live trades with the on the mini ES, and that did not go well today. So the first trade I took, I used this as my signal bar. Um, I'm like 90% on my first trade, so I really think I'm just gonna start reducing my trades to one per day. Um, Good signal bar. Prices did trend up all night, but it just towards you could tell prices were starting to reverse. You get this lower high, a lower high, lower lows, lower high. So when it comes out here and breaks out, I took this signal bar and I was looking at this as a channel. So this worked out. It would have been it wouldn't have been a low for the day, but I would have been able to ride it pretty low if I wanted to. Um, Oh, and I forgot about this trade. I'm really glad that I'm coming back to this. So the here I was trying to follow the rules, but I got, I guess, a little too excited. So this signal bar, it was a tick higher, and I put my stop order right here, probably 50 ticks before this bar closed. So I had the right idea, but before this bar closed, it ticked lower and put me into the order. And it's a great entry point off this channel. It'd be a second entry short, but it didn't go lower. And that's the problem. I bet you if it did go lower, I probably would have hit my targets, but it didn't go lower. So I got trapped. And I guess a bunch of other people got trapped at the same point as me. Because look, it goes up and then comes back down. And then, so here we get the first break of that channel down. And then we get a lower high with a nice signal bar. So I went short beneath that, and that worked out. Oh, another thing here, I moved my stop. So I broke the rules twice here. I moved my stop above this signal bar instead of keeping it here. So that loss would have been very small if I just followed the rules, but I lost an extra probably $7.50 just by moving it to here, maybe even more. No, that sounds about right. $7.50. So anyway, I hit two of my targets. Oh no, I hit one of my targets here. Price come over. Price are just, it looks like we might have a range day at this point, but then prices start trending down. Okay. Oh, I went long above this? Oh, I went long above this signal bar. I guess here what I did not see was this channel down. So maybe I marked this channel after that. Yeah, that's terrible. That's a silly move. And yeah, this is just over trading at this point. Yeah, I take this. I do like this. It's off that trend line, but it is a first entry. So that's something to think about. It's not a second entry. And I think did I have one more? Okay, I guess that was it. So let's move on to the ES. It was an uptrend day. It looked like it was going to be a range day at first, and then maybe it looked like the floor was going to fall out. But prices found some support down here at the 37.20 mark. And yeah, from then on, it was just trending up all day. So let's take a look at what I marked. And I think I missed some congestion in my analysis today because for some reason the ES chart, the bars are spaced wider apart. So I think this is similar to the trade I took on the mini earlier. This is actually, it looks like a second entry short, but it's a new high. So first entry, second entry, off the overnight high areas. And yeah, you get a big old move if you get that. I'd probably get stopped out right here. Maybe you want to swing. And in that case, you get almost a 20-point move down here. So prices overshoot this channel, leads to a break, make a move to a new low. This is a failed second entry short. First entry, second entry. You might mark that as aggressive since prices have been moved down, but it's also like a higher low far from the EMA. So that's a few reasons to take that. And by this point, this looks like an upward. Okay, so yeah, by here we had an idea that this channel existed. Really, you could guess by drawing off these highs. If you did that and were very active to draw this, you would get this, and that's the second entry. I like that. It also looks like a double test or even a triple test, with this being one tick lower. So I do like that. However, now that I'm looking, I didn't mark congestion today really because, like I said, these bars are spaced out. It just looks a little different. So let's look at this because this is another reason to take that. Look at this price level, this level of support. So this is kind of like it's at the bottom of congestion. So I like that a lot. So you would make that move, then we get this. Ooh, you might, I didn't see this. But you might, if you're being aggressive, you might take that too. Here, let me mark that. So I would look at this as probably the top of congestion, and this is like a breakout. It's actually a with trend breakout, but we just had a big move down. So this is like a triple test of these highs, but it ticks a little higher, and you get a nice signal bar. You would have made that move. I didn't look at that, but look how far it is from the EMA too. So anyway, I marked this as if it kind of looks like a second entry. You get this first entry, second entry, even though this is a new high. But that's what it looks like. And it's off that trend line. This is the actual confirmation of that trend line. A great bullish signal bar. And you could have rode that for the whole day almost. We get an aggressive entry, failed second entry short here. First entry, second entry. And at this point, it kind of looks like it's a strong trend up, but it's not off this trend line. These are the overnight lows, so you don't know if you're going to get some resistance there or some price rejection. So anyway, we do hit the top of this trend line, come back down. This is the first entry, second entry. So this is the third entry, and that's why I marked it as aggressive, but it's off this trend line that's been holding, and it's a great bullish signal bar. So I like that. Prices don't quite make it to the top of the trend line this time, and that usually leads to a break, which is what happens. But then this bigger channel starts to come into play. I think this is the channel for the whole day. This channel kind of holds prices the whole day. So bounces here, and I think this is a second entry, but it's going into those overnight lows. So I would be hesitant to take that. Even though maybe you want to wait on a higher low. That's probably what I was thinking, because you have this big move down, wait on a higher low. Unfortunately, you don't get that, but you get this move lower, and you get a higher low here. So I did mark that as aggressive. Maybe you would want to, if you see it start moving back up after it comes down here, maybe put a stop above this. Get those trap shorts. But anyway, we get this steep channel and a very nice upward move. And this is really your only spot. It's definitely aggressive because it's a higher low. That's why I marked it. It's aggressive because these are the overnight highs, and we don't know if they're going to hold prices. But they don't. So if you took that, you'd be okay. It's also just right off this. You should have this drawn by then. They're respecting that line. You got some congestion here. I don't see any way to answer that really. Then you get a nice move up. Prices just start moving up for the rest of the day. Some congestion right here as well. Let's see. I guess Yeah, it's more like that. And let's see. Yeah, there's no moves in here. Unfortunately, you don't get a good signal bar here. You don't get anything here. More congestion, and again, you don't really get an entry. These aren't good signal bars. This isn't the low of the swing. Price come up. You could, I guess, you could look at first entry. You could look at this as a failed second entry short, and it's like a breakout pullback as well. Especially when prices are clearly in a strong uptrend, you might consider that. Make a new high, big move down, bounce off congestion. I don't know. This would be aggressive. A lot of people probably got trapped right here going long there. But this is kind of like, oh yeah, it's a break of this channel, makes a move to a new low. But this is off of that level of support. That's why I marked this. You might take that. You get a higher low, but it's not a good signal bar. You don't get any signal bars to enter in here, but you get some nice moves up. I didn't see this. You might look at this, expecting a move to a new high or a move to attempt at a new high. This signal bar right here, but it's just the first entry. So I think that's all I really saw. I wouldn't go short in here, but I'm sure maybe some experienced people would, because that's clearly the confirmation of that trend line. But it's off this other trend line that I marked. It's bigger upward trend line. So that's a first failed second entry long. Failed second entry long, and would have hit your targets, but I don't like that. And this is all just congestion. And that's what I saw for today. Big upward move. Hope everyone did well today. And I hopefully will be back tomorrow.